So 2 days ago, I announced I was hosting a live event in June, and then overnight, a whole bunch of, shall we say, anonymous accounts online, we don't know who they are, started harassing the families that own the venue. And I don't want to get into the specifics, but there were some public doxing attempts online and other stuff. And now that venue has had to cancel the event. We're still going to do it. We just aren't going to do it there. There were many, far more vile than this, but this is the kind of stuff that was coming in. Again, targeted at the families of the venue, not even targeted at myself or at our organization at all. We didn't get a single negative message. All of our messages were hype from you guys that are stoked to come. Huge concern. A vile anti-Semite is obsessed with the grammar doesn't work here. These are facts. They are indisputable. This is nothing to do with politics or a country. It's frightening, it's sickening, and frankly, at times illegal. He is under the government, WAT, and it's not going to end well for him and people like him. Then they threaten to go to the city and the police. It's not a threat to promise. There will be massive protest, and we'll move forward legally as well, and we'll make sure that your business is known for being anti-Semitic and, or face the consequences. The choice is yours. Right. So I guess that is a representation of the values that whatever that anonymous person stands for. These are the core values that we stand for. Freedom of speech and thought, discernment and debate, tolerance and inclusivity, as in tolerance of all people, of all religions, of all races, all creeds, everyone. And that includes Jewish people. There's going to be lots of them at the event. Some of them will probably even be speakers. Authenticity and transparency, and excellence and citizenry. That's what we stand for, and that's what I stand for. And let's remind ourselves that this whole thing is coming from a conversation I had on a podcast where these are the sorts of things that I said.
And I knew that I'm not allowed to talk about Israel for some reason, and I didn't really know why. And I'm not saying that all Jews are in on something. You know, like all the fucking anti-Jew people are like, just say the Jews. And it's like, no, dude, like there's way more going on here. Israel's government is every bit as vulnerable to the deep state effect as the American government. Jeffrey Epstein was just an employee of these organized crime rings that work on behalf of like the CIA and Israeli Mossad and British intelligence. And I'm not saying it was all of it. Certainly they had help from the CIA, and certainly they had help from these other organized crime and intelligence operations. You want to be free of that kind of shit because the Jewish people don't believe in that. That's not what Jews are. Jews are regular people, just
it's the deep
everyone
state
else.
Of the intelligence agencies in Israel.
There's evil people at the top of all these governments, and so it just puts us all in this impossible situation, and it's an impossible conversation. It's a maturing process, and I think we need to do it very delicately and very carefully and thoughtfully, because Jewish people are people and they're not evil. And we could start to heal this thing and talk about it. And if that's the end of the ride and I get canceled for this shit, so be it. So cancel me, bitches.
Perfect.
Come at me.
Bye, everybody.
And all of that is not to mention that this event is not about Israel. This event has nothing to do with any of that. This event is about freedom of speech and about discernment. It's about bringing all the homies from X together into one room to have a party, bro. We're going to have dope music, tasty food, delicious drinks, fun games to play. Because the whole point of this is that we are done with controlled information spaces. We are done with walled gardens paid for by mega corporations where you can and can't say certain things. We're adults that just want to hang out and talk about cool stuff. And the internet has made us realize how fun it is to be able to do that. And so we're going to do it in person, but we're not going to do it in Boston. So we're going to find a different venue in a place where, let's just say it's a little more friendly turf, where the families of our venue won't have to put up with stuff like this. Because let's be clear, I do not blame or hold any ill will towards the families or the owners of this venue. This is not their fault, and this is not something that they should ever have to put up with. This kind of hate and harassment is not something that anyone should ever have to put up with. So where should we host it? Should we move somewhere like Austin, Texas? Somewhere like Nashville, Tennessee? You let us know in the comments. What city should we throw this event in? And if you know anybody that's got a sick venue, get in touch, because we'll be hunting around for another venue. We got a couple of good ones in mind, but we're not in any rush. We're going to take our time and just find Last night we were talking about this sick rooftop bar out on the water in this one spot. I can't quite say, but we're just trying to hold back and look at all the options because there's so many cool places in this country where we could throw this party. And if you've got a business that's either family owned or founder owned or just down with these American values, Send us an email. We would love to promote your stuff and work together to make something awesome happen. Like, check this email out from someone who owns an all-natural beef company. She's a huge fan of my work and wants to know about opportunities to sponsor this event. Totally. Dude, imagine in the VIP section, we've got a raw beef tartare bar where you can sample the world's finest fresh beef. Maha, baby. I'm just playing. You can cook your beef if you want. If I've already been in touch about getting you there and having a good time and stuff like that, don't worry, just sit tight. We'll send out more information once we pick a new venue. We'll probably move the date as well. In fact, we're probably going to do it even bigger and even better. Because when people try to use lies and slander and all kinds of crazy tactics to try to keep freedom of speech down, that just makes me want a freedom of speech a little harder. And this is America, where for at least the next year or two, we still have the Constitution and we plan to use it. There's this huge momentum online right now of just people breaking free of controlled narratives, of government corruption, actually examining what's really going on in our world in all different facets of reality. And that is worth celebrating. That is worth getting people into a room together to talk about. And I think that's what's going to save the world, is the end of this top-down control of our minds and our thoughts. And that's what Bottom Up is all about. It's about giving a space for all of us to come together and to just be people again. So stay tuned. More details will be coming. Remember to be kind and compassionate, and do not let other people's hateful actions bring hate into your heart. Go do something nice for someone today.